Forget what you thought you knew about ancient Egypt, because what's hidden beneath the surface of history might just blow your mind. While pyramids and mummies steal the spotlight, the hidden language is being written not on scrolls or walls, but on skin. Yes, we're talking about tattooing, which in ancient Egypt was powerful, symbolic, and often shockingly modern. From fierce bulls inked over biceps to divine eyes watching from shoulders, these tattoos weren't just for skin decoration. They carried prayers, protections, and personal stories that still echo across time. So today, let's deep dive into 10 of the most surprising ancient Egyptian tattoos ever found. Each one is a symbol, a message, a mystery etched into skin thousands of years ago and still speaking loud and clear today. Number 1, the wild bull. To begin with, recent researches have revealed one of the oldest known figurative tattoos on a male mummy from ancient Egypt. On his upper right arm, a bold outline of a wild bull emerged from centuries of linen wrappings. The image was almost invisible to the naked eye until researchers at the British Museum re-examined the body in 2018. They discovered what appeared to be a smudge was actually a carefully inked bull dating to about 3351 to 3017 BC. The animal showed a sturdy back, curved horns, and muscular limbs inked with soot pigment deep into the dermis. Surprising clarity after more than 5,000 years proved the precision of ancient Egyptian tattooists. The bull held deep meaning in ancient Egypt. It symbolized raw strength, male virility, and high status in both life and death. Tomb paintings often show bulls in processions honoring gods and kings. So by wearing this image on his skin, the Egyptian men might use it to invoke protection, power, or a connection to divine forces linked to fertility and kingship. However, this shockingly bold figurative tattoo forced the researchers to rethink the artistry and importance of body markings in Egypt's earliest eras, revealing that ink on skin carried meaning as strong as words carved in stone. Number 2, the Barbary sheep beside the bull. Beside the bull on mummy's arms lies another surprise, a Barbary sheep. This animal, native to the rocky deserts of North Africa, was rendered with fine lines, capturing curved horns and sturdy legs. Its presence next to the bull created a mini scene of two wild creatures. Few early tattoos anywhere show animals so realistically. Most tattoos of that time were abstract dots or lines. But here, artistry and symbolism met. Barbary sheep thrived in harsh landscapes, admired for adaptability and endurance. So as a tattoo, this image may have represented cunning, survival, or safe passage through danger. Paired with the bull, it formed a set of amulets, one for raw power, the other for agility. Also, the choice of animals spoke to a rich symbolic world, which means that ancient Egyptian men carried not just tattoos, but living forces in their flesh, two guardians that would travel with them even beyond death. Number 3, the mysterious S-shapes on women. Moreover, infrared scans of an Egyptian female mummy uncovered 4 neat S-shapes on her right shoulder joint. These curved lines hugged the natural contours of skin where muscle met bone. They appeared too precise to be random scratches. Some scholars link the S forms to the hieroglyph for water or to wave symbols representing life and rebirth. In Egypt, water stood for healing and regeneration. Thus, these simple yet elegant shapes may have served as protective amulets, calling on the life-giving power of the Nile. Others suspected the marks were clan signs or early glyphs now lost in time. But without written records from ancient Egypt, you can only guess their exact meaning. What matters is their intentional design. Tattooing these curves required skill and purpose. Through these S-shapes, the women carried a private code or prayer. It's really interesting to imagine the women sitting for hours, guided by a tattooist's steady hand, choosing these symbols to guard their body and spirit in ways now hidden beneath centuries of history. Number 4, the bold L-shaped staff on abdomen. And on the same Egyptian woman's lower abdomen, infrared imaging revealed a striking L-shaped line. At first glance, it seemed simple, but the clean angle and length spoke of intentional design. Egyptologists proposed it mimics a ceremonial staff or stave, a sign of rank used by priests and chiefs. So by inking this symbol close to her core, the Egyptian woman may have been marking her social or religious authority. Tattooing such a prominent spot was no easy task. The skin shifted and stretched as the wearer breathed. To place a straight line there demanded care and a steady tool. Also, the staff symbol worn near the womb suggested a link between leadership and life-giving power. As a private declaration, the L shape stood for ancient women's identity and status. This shows how tattooing in ancient Egypt was not just a skin decoration, but also a profound expression of self in society. Number 5, the net pattern of dots on priestesses. Next, the mummy of priestesses of Hathor from ancient Egypt bore an intricate net of dots and dashes on her arms, thighs, and lower abdomen. Discovered in 1891, these tiny marks form a protective grid over her womb and breasts. As her belly swelled in pregnancy, the dot pattern would have stretched like a living net, safeguarding mother and child. Hathor's priestesses often used similar designs on clay fertility dolls as well. On real skin, the tattoo served as a permanent amulet calling on divine care. Each dot was made by pricking skin and rubbing in soot pigment. The uniform rows and exact spacing showed ritual precision, while the net marked woman's role as a vessel of life and service to Hathor. Number 6. Bes the Protector on the inner thigh. Further study of Egyptian women tattoos revealed the figure of Bes inked on their inner thigh. Bes, the dwarf lion god, was famed for guarding pregnant women and newborns. So at home, Egyptians hung his image on walls. The women chose to wear his image on flesh, as his wild mane, protruding tongue, and fierce stance were meant to drive away evil spirits and protect in childbirth. Tattooed high on the thigh, Bes stared directly at forces that might harm the women and their child. The use of tattooed imagery for practical protection tells us how art, religion, and medicine blended in ancient Egypt. Now, as women carried their guardian god within, even after death, Bes remained by their side, inked into the skin, protecting against unseen threats. Number 7. Divine eyes on women. Moreover, bioarchaeologist Ann Austin's 2014 of an Egyptian female mummy revealed its surface was inked with the eyes of Horus. These almond-shaped symbols placed on her throat, shoulders, and back conveyed protection and healing. Each eye paired with the hieroglyph Nefer, meaning good, to do good. Positioned on their throat, the tattoos blessed women's speech and singing, while those on their shoulders strengthened their arms for ritual duties. Thus, from every viewpoint, the divine gaze of Horus confronted onlookers, repelling threats. This effect transformed women's flesh into a moving sanctuary, a living wall of sacred imagery, and in a community of tomb builders whose existence was defined by stone monuments, these tattoos merged mortal flesh and divine awareness. But true astonishment lies in recognizing the body itself as a scroll of consecrated text, each eye a traveling talisman that persisted beyond the decay of tissue. So this remarkable discovery by Ann Austin redefined our understanding of ancient Egypt tattoo culture, forever altering perceptions. Number 8. Baboons and Nefer signs on arms. Moreover, on the Egyptian women mummies, twin baboons wearing Nefer collars we found on each arm. These collars, marking good baboons or good mind, emphasized the sacred status of baboons to Thoth, god of wisdom and writing. By inking these images on their limbs, women invoked Thoth's cleverness and divine favor for all their daily tasks. The design merged animal form and hieroglyphic symbol, transforming their arms into moving amulets of protection and intellect. This artistic language inscribed on flesh turned each tattoo into an open scroll where the curves of the baboons and the Nefer sign became letters in a living text. Also, Egyptian temple graffiti often shows baboons applauding the sun's arrival and honoring the scribes of gods. The tattoo then reveals an ancient culture that wove nature, religion, and magic into every gesture. Number 9. Lotus blossoms on the hips of elite women. And lotus blossoms inked on the hips of women served as symbols of rebirth and purity. Each dawn, the Nile's lotus flower opened its petals, representing the sun's daily emergence and the renewal of life. In ancient Egypt, these open petals decorated the hips of women of status. As a tattoo, the lotus laid near the body's curves, its delicate edges brushing linen and flesh with every movement. In each step, it recalled the rhythm of resurrection that sustained both nature and spirit. In temple art, priests engraved the lotus flower along hymns to Hathor, the goddess of love and motherhood. Thus, on living skin, the flower became a continual prayer, its soft lines inscribed as an intimate devotion. These tattoos transformed every motion into an act of renewal, merging art with ritual. It's really interesting to imagine how simple petals could embody profound theology, uniting everything in a single subtle design, portraying everyday life and belief. Number 10. Hathor's twin cows with sacred necklaces. Finally, Ann Austin's research uncovered a remarkable design on an Egyptian mummy. Twin cows inked across the arms, each adorned with Hathor necklaces. Each cow's calm face appeared serene, framed by necklaces rendered in fine soot lines. Additions of ankhs and other protective signs completed the design. By tattooing their arms with these sacred beasts, the Egyptian women declared their devotion to Hathor. This intricate tattoo transformed the wearer's arms into a living shrine. Whenever the woman raised their arms during a song or ritual, Hathor's cows seemed to rise with their prayers. Their inked forms acted as symbols of worship, uniting body and belief. And even inside a silent tomb, long after their death, the image of these cows stood as a testament to a faith inscribed not in stone, but on the soft, sacred canvas of human flesh. So these 10 ancient Egyptian tattoos reveal a world where art, religion, and healing fused in ink and skin. From the wild bull to the twin cows, each mark served as an amulet, announcement, and act of faith. This means that tattooing in Egypt was never mere decoration. It was a living scripture of protection, status, and sacred devotion. As political and religious winds shifted, amulets, beads, and written charms grew more common, yet the legacy of inked flesh whispered across time. In these marks we read prayers to Hathor, charms of Bes, and the watchful gaze of Horus. We glimpse artists whose soot-stained tools traced curves and creatures with skill that rivals any modern hand. What's really interesting is not only in the age of these tattoos, but also their intimacy. These tattoos actually bind us to people who lived, loved, and looked to gods for help through skin that no longer beats but still speaks. They also stand as living bridges to a world where every line bore magic and every image carried power. So when we study these marks today, we connect with souls who chose to wear their stories on flesh, trusting that ink could hold hope, ward off danger, and carry a bit of the divine in every heartbeat. Now, if we ask you, what are your thoughts about these 10 shocking ancient Egyptian tattoos? Share with us in the comments section below. Also, if you like this video, share it with your friends and subscribe to our channel for more interesting content.